All right, let's settle one of the biggest debates out there, Ford versus Chevy. If you're looking for your very first truck, you've probably heard opinions from everyone. Today, we're cutting through all that noise. We're going to break down the 2026 F-150 and the 2026 Silverado piece by piece, so you can make the right call. So, where do you even start? Ford or Chevy? Look, I get it. It can feel like a really daunting choice. They're both absolute beasts, no doubt. But they have really different personalities, different philosophies. And by the time we're done here, you're gonna have a super clear picture of which one fits you perfectly. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the heart of the beast, the engine. This is probably the single most important decision you'll make, and it's where Ford and Chevy really start to show their different ways of thinking. It really all boils down to one simple question: what job does your truck actually need to do? So you can see right here how different their approaches are. Ford is all in on high tech. They give you a ton of options, 6 of them, and they're really leaning into their turbocharged EcoBoost V6s and that awesome PowerBoost hybrid. It's all about efficiency and modern power. Chevy, on the other hand, is a bit more old school, in a good way. They focus on what they do best: big, reliable, powerful V8s, plus a really solid turbo 4-cylinder. What does that actually mean when you're behind the wheel? Well, Ford's engines, especially that hybrid, give you a massive shove of power right from a stop. That's what we call low-end torque. It's fantastic for getting a heavy trailer moving without any drama. Plus, that hybrid can actually act like a mobile generator, which is just incredibly useful. Chevy's V8s are different. The power comes on smoother, more predictably, and they just feel unstoppable on the highway. It's that classic, reassuring V8 rumble and pull. And when it comes to the numbers game, the ultimate bragging rates, Ford takes the top spot, 14,000 pounds. I mean, that is a massive number. If you need to tow the absolute most, this is the figure that gets all the attention. And here's what 14,000 pounds looks like in the real world. You're talking a huge travel trailer, a big boat, you name it. But here's the question you have to ask yourself, honestly. How often are you really going to tow that much? Is it something you need, or is it just nice to have? So let's put them side by side. Yes, the F-150 leads on paper, in both towing and in payload. That's the weight you can carry in the bed. But look at the Silverado, 13,300 pounds. Let's be real, for 99% of us, both of these trucks have way more muscle than we'll ever need for a weekend trip to the lake or a project from the home improvement store. Okay, enough about what these trucks can pull. Let's talk about where you're gonna spend all your time, inside the cab. Because these days, a truck isn't just a workhorse. It's your office, it's the family car, it's your getaway vehicle. So comfort and tech are a really, really big deal. And you see a big difference right away. Ford gives you a huge 12-inch touchscreen as standard on pretty much every model. That's a fantastic feature. Chevy starts with a smaller screen, but you can upgrade to this absolutely massive 13.4-inch screen that looks incredible. And if you're a music lover, well, Ford's optional B&O sound system just packs in the speakers compared to Chevy's Bose setup. But look, a bigger screen isn't always a better screen, right? The real question is, how easy is it to use every single day? Some people find Ford's Sync 4 system a little more intuitive, but others, and I kind of get this, really appreciate that Chevy keeps more physical knobs and buttons for things like the climate control. Sometimes you just want to reach over and turn a dial, you know? Now this is a total game changer, especially if you do a lot of highway driving. Both Ford and Chevy have these incredible systems that let you take your hands off the wheel on compatible highways. It steers, brakes, and accelerates for you. It sounds futuristic, but it makes long road trips so much less tiring. Seriously, it's amazing. Okay, this is a spec that most people completely overlook, but it has a huge impact on your life with the truck. Their average gas mileage is pretty similar, but look at that fuel tank size. The F-150's optional 36-gallon tank is massive. What does that mean? It means you could have a highway range of over 860 miles. That is more than 350 miles farther than the Silverado on a single tank. That's fewer stops on a road trip or just fewer trips to the gas station every month. It's a huge convenience. All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's talk money. Not just the price you pay on day one, but what it's really gonna cost you to own one of these trucks over the long haul. This is where things get really, really interesting. First thing to understand, the price on the window sticker, that's just a starting point. What you really need to look at is the transaction price. That's what people are actually paying when they walk out the door after all the discounts and negotiations are done. So, looking at real-world sales data, the average buyer for a new F-150 is paying just a little over $62,000. That's the sweet spot for the trims and options that most people want. And now look at the Silverado. The average price is just under $58,000. So right there, that's about a $4,000 difference you save up front. But that's only the beginning of the financial story. This right here, this is the single biggest and most hidden cost of owning any new vehicle, depreciation. It's how much value your truck loses over time. And as you can see, after 5 years, the F-150 loses over 30 grand. The Silverado, though, holds its value much better, losing closer to 25,000. A big reason for that is perception. A lot of buyers feel those classic V8s in the Chevy will be more durable in the long run, and that helps its resale value.
So let's make that big number a little easier to understand. That difference in depreciation works out to about $97 every single month. It's like a hidden payment that you don't see, but it absolutely affects your bottom line when it's time to sell or trade in your truck.
And what about long-term peace of mind? This is a huge one. Both trucks give you a 5-year warranty on the really expensive stuff, the engine, the transmission. But Chevy covers you for 100,000 miles. That's an extra 40,000 miles of protection over the Ford. That could save you from a massive repair bill down the road. Okay, so we've covered a lot. We've talked power, we've talked tech, we've talked about the riddle cost. Now it's time to put it all together. Remember, the best truck isn't about which one has the biggest numbers. It's about which one is the best fit for your life. So who is the F-150 for? Well, if you're the kind of person who wants the absolute peak of performance and the latest tech, this is probably your truck. If you need to tow the heaviest loads, if that onboard generator is a game changer for your job or your camping trips, and if you just love the idea of that massive driving range, the F-150 is hard to beat. And on the other hand, the Silverado might be your truck if you're playing the long game. If you're a smart, practical buyer who cares a lot about resale value and lower ownership costs, the Silverado makes a very strong case. If you just love the sound and feel of a traditional V8 and you want that extra peace of mind from the longer warranty, then the Chevy is probably calling your name. So we come right back to that first most important question. You got the facts now. You know the differences